Hello and welcome to another game of Creeper World IXE, and we've got another random map here today, and this one looks interesting. I've pressed the randomize button a few times, I rolled the dice, and I've got this one. And I think what looks interesting about it is it's basically one big chamber with everything in it, and it's got a little bit of creeper on the top, not loads and loads, it's not a gigantic ocean, but it's also got this damageable land, so once this fills up it should get up to the surface pretty quickly. I mean, I guess in terms of looking for a challenge, this is reasonably accessible. You've got this emitter that's kind of protecting it, but it's also fairly easy to get to the crystals, so we'll have to see. So I'm going to give this a go and see where we get to, and I think I'm going to start up here. I'm just trying to think this through. So if I start up here, I've kind of got to protect this because I really want to put my reactors there. So let's try that. Let's do that. Let's see if we can. I'm not quite sure if that's a good move. So there's a big pulse of creeper coming my way. Let's get the reactors up fairly quickly. We can prioritise the reactors because we've not got anything too crazy going on. Can I squeeze a sixth in there? Not really. Oh, can I? Yeah, I can. There we go. Right, I'm just going to pause that for a sec. Right, so the obvious thing I've got to worry about here is getting overtopped. I think it's probably worth getting some ships in, even if it's sort of technically feasible. Yeah, that wave's not too big, so let's give this a go. Also slightly, so I think there's enough building space here to build a bunch of reactors. Some really minimal energy here. Okay, so let's build these at the top. Super slow because I've got almost no energy. I'm not really worried, so I think I'm just going to turn off building this because I think this was maybe a mistake. So let's just move this up. So the next thing I think I really need to worry about is, again, I'm in two minds here. I'm going to build one reactor at a time because I've just got such a small amount of energy. I think we're able to keep this at bay. This is going to go down. I'm not quite sure actually if that connects those two things up, so it's possible. So that's my warning sign, so that means I need to switch this reactor needs to go off, and this needs to come on, and I think I'm going to switch these things have hardly got any ammo anyway, so let's see, can we build a coil ship and protect ourselves? Let's see. I'm also interested to see if that starts leaking down, because that'll mean that these two things are connected. If they're not, yep, it's connected. Yep, this is all connected. Oh my goodness, look at these robots. Oh, this is significantly more difficult than I thought it would be. I had totally forgotten about the robots. I should never have started building this. I did not really feel. Look at this swarm of robots that's coming for me. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, we've got some protection against got some protection against air stuff, but I'm not sure we've got enough to protect ourselves from all these killer robots that are coming. I can't afford to do anything else. Oh dear. Oh no, that's it. That is definitely it. Well, this is an interesting level. We found an interesting level, that's for sure. I'm trying to think what the best way of. Let me just think. So I'm gonna restart this one and see how far we can get. Let me see if let's restart. I think this is the right side to start on. I think it's going to be pretty precarious. I think ideally you need to do something like that. I think it was alright. I should have moved it forward. That was a bit silly. Let's build 4 of these. Right, so the first wave isn't too damaging, but the basic problem is how do you build enough reactors? With this tunnel, because I've got the gap, I can. In fact, I'm going to completely ignore this reactor because I don't think that's a problem at all. Oh, that was a mistake. I did not mean to do that. Alright, let's see if that's recoverable or not. That was a bit of a disaster. But you should play on in disaster and incompetence. That is certainly true. That's a really big problem, by the way, because what I was hoping to do was just have that as a safe haven that I could defend. Yeah, I'd say sorry. That fat finger error is a real problem. I'm going to restart that. Sorry that you have to watch my gross incompetence, but let's try that again. That was basically right, except I can't touch this. I can't touch the sulfur bit of this. Right, I can do 4 without having too many problems. What I was hoping to do was to build a tunnel that basically unlocks this. Oh, I've done it again. Oh, that is so irritating. Tell you what, let's just play with it. Let's just play through the incompetence. Oh dear, what an absolute shambles. I don't think I can though, because the problem is it's going to overtop. Oh dear. This is the kind of thing that if you do it and nobody's watching, it's not a big deal, and then if you do it in front of an audience of hardly anyone, Right, so okay, this time is going to be, this is the one, this is third time lucky, right? Third time with this new tactic. 1, 2, 3, 4. God, that is embarrassing. I promise I know how to play this game. Probably. Okay, right. I'm not going to try and do anything remotely clever because I'm obviously failing at that. Oh gosh, there we go. This is just a clown show, isn't it? At least you're getting raw, unedited, unbridled, unskilled content. Some space for additional reactors, so let's do this. Okay, right. Okay, right, we're gonna get there, It's gonna be okay. Okay, right. In my enthusiasm to get these reactors online, I think I've neglected to consider whether I actually have the economy in any meaningful sense to do this. Right now I know two things are going to happen. Okay, so after this reactor comes online, we're going to build this. Really only need 2 coil ships. Right, now the robots are coming. Sort of build up to a certain level and then oh dear. Yeah, that'll do it. You know, I didn't rate this as an impossible level. I thought this would be hard, but I thought it would be feasible. I've kind of clowned around and just sort of embarrassed myself generally. Look at that, that's hilarious, isn't it? So I'm just trying to think. So, as long, you know, assuming you don't flood your own tunnels, I don't think I needed to do that, so that was a bit of a waste of energy, given that energy is really precious at the start. I think this fleet needs to be a little bit higher. You just need a little bit more distance to kind of make it work. Let's give it one more go and see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. Yes, absolutely. Right. So I think we need to be here at the beginning, but I think we need to migrate. And I think we also need to not blow up our own reactors. I think that is important. Okay, so we've got, I'm just trying to think about how many defenders do we need? You know, I think I've cut that a little bit fine, so I'm going to delete that. Let's see if we can, if that gives us enough space to build all the reactors we need. Okay, so we've got 57 energy. Okay, so that means we can build 2 of these. Let's see. Okay, so we can say this point we need to move the ship this way. It's sort of difficult to know really what's the most awful threat. I mean, if you... I think this is one where if you can establish an equilibrium, I'm almost sort of tempted to say don't shoot at the creeper, because we kind of don't need that, it's not that important. You can see that what happens is your energy slowly increases, so we've got a first volley of phantoms. So the question is, I need to recharge this, or it's just too many. It's just too many rockets, isn't it? Too many rockets and too much. You really have to have, I think, 2 fully charged coil ships, and probably, I don't know if you could do it with 3 cannons, like 3 defender ships. Maybe that would be enough if they were fully charged at the beginning. You can probably eke out a little bit more energy if you build your reactors here rather than trying to be too, I'm going to say, clever. You just saw me completely flood my own tunnels at least 3 times. But maybe that would work. Maybe that would work. This is the kind of game where you say, I'm going to give it one more go. Let's try that one more time. Oh dear, this is slightly embarrassing. Right, I think I'll just build the first 6 of these. I feel like if you can survive the first volley, you can win the level. After that, the process of surviving would be tough. Okay, I'm going to build another one of these puppies. Right, okay. Okay, so we're not doing too badly. We've got 7 online as of right now. Just trying to think, can I squeeze in another one? Slowly building this up. You know, it's a tough game when you're deciding at 46 seconds whether you should build a coil ship or build, so what, defenders cost 24.1, that's remarkably precise, isn't it? Coil ships cost 48. And reactors cost 28. It's that kind of, do you know what, it's that kind of game where you're like, what should I do? What should I do? I sort of think if we can squeeze another one of these, but then are we going to have, so we've got plus 2.3 a second. I'm assuming that's per second. So in 10 seconds I'll have 23 and that'll be 56. These things hit at about 1 minute and 30. It's that kind, do you know what, it's that kind of game. Alright. Anyone who can do maths right now is just going, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Okay, right. So there's no question about what the next investment though is going to be. Okay, right. Let's do this. So let's work this out. I don't think there's any way of stopping. Okay, I don't think there's any way of stopping the robots. isn't it? You know exactly what you need to build, and yet you just don't have anything like the energy. Oh, it's painful. Oh, the first few. Can we get? Oh, can we just? Oh, so close, so close. I know that looks like we were miles off, and in a sense we were, because they're just, you need 2 coil ships, don't you? You just need 2 coil ships. Oh, oh. Oh man, that was brutal. That was brutal. It's funny because if this was a different, I call that creeper. If this was a slightly different level. If this was actual land, this would be a totally different level. It would be such a different level. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching this. I will put the code for this level in the video description, so you can try and see if you are less cat-handed than me at terraforming your level. And yeah. Let me know if you can do it. Can you get to 2 coil ships? Do you even need 2 coil ships? Look, they're just dumping creeper everywhere in a sort of celebration. They're mocking me. Anyway, next time, see you next time. I hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. That'd be brilliant. And comments, please send your comments through, unless they're about how bad my terraforming skills are. Okay. Thanks very much.